Welcome to this episode of How Do You Divine? And today we are going to talk Caribbean with my girl, Mss
Francois.
Yeah, because she's single and she out here in these streets and she wanted people in for more. And so today, I want to first thank you for being on the show.
You're very welcome, my dear.
And I wanted to give you like a proper introduction. But because I feel like I want this to be a true kiki. Right? So I don't want it to be a big, lengthy introduction. It's important that I feel like Caribbean is in full display during this conversation.
All right.
Oh, gosh. Oh, gosh. I feel like I feel the wind blow just now. So, I will, in your own words, who is Mrs. Francois?
Okay, so again, that's Mss
I know
Francois.
why I want to give you Mrs.
Yeah, because it come in. But right
Yes,
now it's
you
Miss.
see me manifesting for you? The good man soon come. Like,
So, it's Mss Francois. That's MSS for multi-talented and super sexy. And you can see why. Okay. When you have to do the nice little pitch,
Yeah.
I'm a humorous keynote speaker, entertainer, and author.
Mm-hmm.
I host my own TV show called The Mss Francois Show, where I use humor to help all of you with your dysfunctional relationships. And your relationship is dysfunctional. And with that, I am the founder of Striving Goddesses. It's a community where I support women who they ain't got no man, so they're healing from broken relationship or exploring going back out in the dating scene. But I always say before you get out there, I want to make sure you're your best self, you recover your self-identity, and you're ready to get out and date whole, not half. Because you know all your women like to take a whole baggage and stuff with all you. But all right.
It's the all you. For me, I love
All you.
all of you. For those who aren't from the Caribbean and don't have the definition, she said all of you. Mss Francois,
Yes,
I love that you made sure your Miss is in your name to elaborate on all the fantasticness that is you. So let's talk about the Caribbean, right? Because as you know, I'm Jamaican.
Yeah.
Yes, sit up straight. I am Jamaican, and you're from Trinidad.
And Tobago. Don't be disrespectful. I don't want to forget the sister Isle. Trinidad and Tobago. I'm a Trinidadian when you put it together.
So kind. I've never heard somebody from Trinidadian call it that way.
Because people always forget, and I feel like sometimes they'll say, where you from? Trinidad. Because if you're from Tobago, most people still say Trinidad and Tobago. So I think you should put it together. Because it's one island.
TNT?
Yeah. All right. Okay. Trini to the bone, as they say.
Exactly. It's all right. It's okay being the second most popular island. It's fine.
Sorry, I couldn't hear out this air. But it's okay. I mean, they say, I think how many people in your island? Like 2 million or something? And
enough million. No.
They say actually the whole size of Jamaica, if it's 2 point something million, you all, half of you all, they say actually in Canada and in America. So obviously you all are running away from the island. Okay?
Out of many, one people. We everywhere.
Then again, the men from Jamaica is just known to multiply. They just spread their seed. But no disrespect.
The world must be populated. Does it not?
True. All right.
So on today's conversation, we're talking Caribbean. And I want to ask you, what do you think being from Trinidad and Tobago has given you in terms of who you are, right? As a speaker and a finance professional. Because I think when we have these conversations and there's a good kiki and it's just two women having a good time, they're like, oh, this is great. But no, we well in these corporate streets making our good checks with our good brain. Okay.
Good brain. Okay, so for me, it's uniqueness. You stand out. The funny thing is, when I first come here, that was like a negative because I felt like I didn't fit in and people keep asking you, where you say, huh? And even like you say, I'm in finance. So I work in a bank and they said like a year later, they actually told me, they said, just so you know, for the first year, no one know what you were saying. So we used to say yes, because they said they didn't want to hurt my feelings. But that's not nice. But I understand what they're saying. So in the beginning, that accent thing is not fun, especially according to where you are. Because I came to New Jersey, and which part it was mostly white people, and English, American, whatever. But when you come to New York, you fit in much more.
But it's a melting pot.
But now when you start to love yourself and all that, you go through the personal development, my accent makes me unique Plus, it is one of the sexiest accents in the world. Yes, you can Google that. It's not Jamaica. Jamaica not even in the list. Okay? But that's what we're known for. So I like to say I'm unique and I stand out. And we don't like run away from our country like the Jamaicans. We like the second. So
I just want y'all to hear all the shit.
I know they're gonna come from it.
Listen,
Blood clot, y'all. Who should think?
I just want them to see how kind I am. I'll make sure I'm going in a little place here and then make her do her thing. But just want to see how kind I is. Yeah. But that is so, I agree with you. So I had a similar experience when I came to New York as a child, actually, right?
How old were you when you came?
Initially 4 years old, but I went back every summer, and I also started high school in Jamaica, right? So I've always had like a unique experience with like, I call it best of both worlds, living in two worlds, where when I first came, it was like, why you white? And I was like, first of all, me no white. Really? I'm light skin, so never see light skin people ever live in their life. But okay. Listen, me and a browning. If me not, you ever use browning in a season, browning dark, me just. When last time you make Axel? Never start with the cooking in. I never
thought of it like that. Buju, you had it wrong, brother.
Browning is quite dark.
Oh yes,
exactly.
Caramel. Okay.
Exactly. So when I first came here, I was super fair skinned and my hair was light and all that, and they were like, "You're white, but you talk funny." I was like, first of all, I'm not white and I'm not talking funny. And then it's like, "Where are you from?" "In Jamaica." I didn't know white people was in Jamaica. First of all, revert back to the top of my question. I am not white.
Like, is that interesting?
Yes, it was so interesting that people didn't know the diversity that lives on the island of Jamaica, and it was very shocking for them. And also that, again, I can go in and out of my dialect depending on how I feel and my emotions. Exactly. No drama, you know what I'm saying? Exactly. Right, so I've always had that unique experience where people are just trying to figure out, what are you?
But I did get, like, they thought I live in, like, sticks, like, because I still remember I went to New Jersey first, and which it was, like, a really white community, and they all, like, they thought, like, I was, like, 3 little pigs or whatever, like, sticks, and and it's so funny, when someone tells you, like, where you live or what they believe it looks like, you yourself start to think, like, no, we have bricks. Like, you start to doubt yourself.
Electricity.
Right.
Running.
So I used to try to explain it. I say, honestly, Trinidad, for me, Trinidad and Tobago is like a small New York. Yeah. We have the Twin Towers. We have the big buildings. We have everything. Yeah. So, so people, but I like when people ask questions instead of assume. So that's the only thing.
I agree. I feel like when you ask questions with the intention to learn, I'm more engaged and excited for you, right? Because then I think same thing with Jamaica. I feel like people always feel like Jamaica. What is Jamaica? Jamaica is
smoking weed and your way. But
everybody have locks. Everybody smoke
and
weed.
And the Caribbean shirt and the tree and the color, and then everybody just playing pan like.
Exactly. Everybody smoke weed. Everybody have locks. Like, and I'm just like, what? And everything is a beach. And I'm just like, okay, so I appreciate that you have gone there on vacation. So I'm going to say that you've seen shutters once or twice.
Right. Well, for me, it's dancehall queen. So in my mind, I swear I'm in Jamaica.
Right? So I make the assumption that you've experienced the Jamaican culture, right? Because that's when we have to say Jamaican culture and run the place, a Caribbean thing.
Okay. True.
Yeah, we sit on top.
See, I give it to you, right?
Exactly, because a Jamaican ain't never get mistaken as a Trinidadian.
Very true. We get mistaken as. Then again, they take every island, it doesn't matter. It's Jamaican. You're Jamaican.
But that just go to show. So
that most of y'all just run away from your country. All right.
But no, same. So people would always approach me like, so what did your family do? Like, what do you do in Jamaica? And I was like, Jamaica's just like New York. Like, in a sense of the infrastructure, obviously it's not identical, but it is very much, it has its cities, it has its suburban, it has all of the same things in your local neighborhood. So I always love that people were more interested, because I think Jamaica just has a more appealing presence when we talk about islands, right? I think there's some islands like St. Lucia or other places, people are just like, where is that? Who is that?
How many people there?
Was it you and your baby? Did you leave? And now how is the island? How will the island go on?
I tell people by the time they leave, like St. Lucia, St. Lucians, they have like 180,000 people. I'm like, by the time you and your family get up half the island, like sing, like it doesn't, like I'm from Trinidad and Tobago, and I'm like, look, it's so bad because a bunch of islands we do tend to look down. Because I always tell people, if you're not Jamaican, Trinidadian, Bajan, I'm like Barbados for those who. I'm like, okay, you don't really.
You're
count.
just extra. You're like the others.
Right. Right. No disrespect.
No disrespect.
knows.
At the end of the day, when they're like, rep it, all when it's Labor Day weekend, they're like, rep your flag.
Right.
Everybody know which flag I
sell
out.
Do you know one time someone came up to me and be like, what flag is this? I said, what? Yes. I said, we are responsible for this parade.
Okay. I should have been there. It was like they should have looked you in the eye and said, "What is doubles?"
She know one thing and
Exactly. But I just think the Caribbean massive as a whole has contributed so much to like the culture, the conversation, to every genre of performing arts across the world. But we never really have a conversation about like the origin, how it drives who we are, right? How is the Caribbean? To me, Jamaica is the essence of who I am. I remember being a child and just going back and forth and having these different experiences, and people calling me white, and you talk with a twang, because once you come, your accent ain't.
Right.
Listen, and I have family that lives in the city and that live in the rural country. So, in the country.
The bush.
Listen.
The rural.
Listen, and it's cute.
The
bush
country.
Right next to the rivers and the islands. Right next to the river. And the waterfall was my backyard. So, baby, I had a good old time. But same. So, it's just like, who are you? Right? And like you said, it made you unique. It made you sexy. It makes you exotic in a way.
Spicy, the seasoning. Because they don't season nothing here. They just use salt and pepper. So to me, you come with that extra spice. Even being Trinidadian, like how we talk, they call us something, they say tricky daddian, because we always have some kind of sarcasm or something going on.
Yeah.
And that's definitely something I totally embrace, because every other word out of my mouth is always sarcastic. Some people can't even keep up, but that's part of who I am, and I love it. And I'm glad in this present time I could even embrace it. But like you talk about culture, isn't it amazing, like how you say when they hear Jamaica, they think weed, smoking, whatever, Bob Marley.
Yes.
Like when it comes to Trinidad, they just think carnival. Like in their mind, it's just carnival. And mind you, carnival is 2 days.
No, it's only 2 days.
It's 2 days, Monday and Tuesday, where people be partying at least a week before. It's like a whole week of fete.
At this
fete
point,
party.
it's like fete month.
Right. but the sad part for me is like as soon as that's over, that's it. So anytime people say Trinidad, carnival and nothing else. We don't even get the beaches as much. That's more other islands have the beaches. So ours is just carnival. And when you think carnival, everybody naked, everybody dancing, whining, like sex everywhere. And they get drunk. Okay, that's more Grenadian. But she don't know she islands that well.
Listen, this is what happens when you're trying to incorporate all Caribbeans. You see what happens here? The Trinidadians, you see how they stay?
Right.
You see how they stay? I'm trying to keep us all in the conversation.
We all have a mixture. But when they say jab, people like Grenadian.
Jab, yes,
okay?
the dark, and it looks a little weird. I'm not gonna lie to you, I ain't never doing it, but go ahead.
Yeah, so that's some kind of satanic, but whatever, we love it. Yeah, add the music, everybody forget, or whatever.
Little music, little water, little drinks, a lot of drinks, everybody act like.
But I do embrace that, but I'm more like old school. Not that I'm old, I'm older, but I like the old school stuff. Like now everybody's like jump, half naked, wine. No true lyrics to the music. 1, 2. There was one that 1, 2, 3, jump on. Like that was it for 5 years straight, right?
The whole song.
And then right, so
run the beat again.
Right,
1, 2, 3.
right.
Run the beat
no
again.
lyrics. Right? And I don't know how much time you could watch. So wine, fast wine, like so much wine.
Bend over.
But we have evolved, because I'm one of those people because I like my back in the day Kitchener and the shadow stuff you might know about fully. But like the old school, the Sparrow and stuff.
Me know berries, me know bush.
Yeah,
me need Cliff, them. Yeah, Terrence Riley. Listen, me know them man there.
So I like that. So that's like. So it's the whole thing. You had the Kaiso X-Tempo is what I like. A lot of people don't even know what that is, but it's just a basic tune back and forth, and you're disrespecting each other humorously. But I love that. And then it evolved into soca, jump, jump, wine, wine. And even like in the 2000s now, they have something called zest. So I just try to have an understanding of what's going on. But it has changed along the way. But the only thing that I don't like sometimes are, yes, we're all Caribbean. But then after, when we have zest, they're like, oh, that's dancehall. And now, so they sometimes they mix it up. And I don't like, it's nice if we mix the music and we have a fun time, but still differentiate. This is from Trinidad and Tobago. That's from Jamaica, and everybody else just steal it.
Very true. Because I had the similar conversation about Afrobeats and the difference between dancehall and reggae and how reggae, to me, it's an evolution, right?
Yeah,
it's an evolution, and to me, it goes like this. Right, we're taking one beat, you know, when Beanie says zim zim, and then them take it make beat, and now it's Afrobeat. It's like, wait, hold on, a zim zim, that me remember the keys to the bema.
I think the fight though, when like I even saw like what you was talking about the Afrobeats, is just people not getting like their props for certain things, and I think because 1 minute is fine. It had the Jamaican music or whatever and Trinidad music, but then all of a sudden Afrobeats came from nowhere. And they're like, but all they left us out. And we're one of the people that started certain things. And I get that. It's like, what the hell? How you go all the way?
On the tech and
we right here.
You know, take the drums, make drums are the number one place. And they just,
you know, it's
but I also feel like, honestly, because the culture is so big, who cares about the credit? That's how Sanika feel.
Yeah, that's you, Sanika.
Yeah.
Because what song you sing?
I'm missing enough song in the show.
Okay.
Oh, mine.
Right?
A good song.
Because it's the entertainers and stuff, it start to feel away.
I'll spice skin out me. I'm a song them that look.
I am a sincere. Skin out, okay.
Exactly. You're more sincere. Yes, you're more.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
more delicate.
Even though I realize when I listen to most of her songs, it's always something about like dissing a man, like me better than you.
Yes.
Oh my God, I go take this and like she split it on the man. Before it was the man like I go run your red and dig out your. I know how much time all the Jamaican men go dig out and dig it till it get red. All it different, you know. All it different, you know. But you know what? I used to ask a lot of people that sing soca, like how come Jamaican music could have reached the level it has reached, and still Trinidad again, Carnival the end. And I mean, people say different things, but for me, since I like the music or whatever, like Jamaican music, even though a lot of people still don't know what the hell all they're saying, I think is the beat. You can still slow and grind.
It's the melody and the feeling.
Right. But when it's Trinidad,
yes,
after the first 1 minute, you're like, Lord God.
Yes. I'm going to talk to you about this. I can do soca in the morning, before noon. That is all. After and listen, if you see me in the party with a little soca, it's only for that. That's what soca. Because how much jump and jump and jump and jump and jump and and it's just like, hold on, we gonna jump and like, and then it's like the similar melody, and you change again, and we jump in, and we jump in, and we jump in, and it's like, give me a little. I'm like, give me a little song now. Give me a little soothe me up.
So the good news, that's why we have a little kiss now, right?
Yes.
Oh
gosh, I love him so much.
So I think like certain people like him could take the music to the next level, and he kind of has. He has little crossover songs or whatever.
So has Marshall. Marshall has some.
Well, Marshall is love. Like he's the one that definitely takes soca music over the sea all over. He just
remind me of Sunshine.
Yeah, he goes through all the different countries and he tries to mix it up, and I respect that. He still stays authentic to Trinidad and Tobago music, but he mixes it up, because when you do mix it up, it crosses over easier. Like he did Tiny Desk the other day, which is a huge deal
platform.
The first Caribbean soca artist to have done that. Yeah. And right now, sometimes they be hating on my man because they're like, how much thing he go win? He win Chutney Soca, Monarchy win, Calypso thing.
Can we talk about that? Why we stay so? Why are we like this?
Who is it we?
I'm saying we. I'm just saying we because it is Caribbean culture.
Why
I don't
she
know
thinks
why.
Because if she raised she voice, she has a point. I don't know.
It's what it's
but I don't even think is we think about this. When people start to win too much, people get jealous. That's certain things. In the beginning, like Marshall himself said it. When you win the first time, oh my God, thank you. Second time, you're like, he's doing it. By the time the fourth time, they're like, oh, he can't sit down, get the young people a chance. And I don't believe in that. My thing, if you have a God-given talent, you should be allowed to do whatever you want. And if he's end up singing till he's 90, so be it. He making people happy. But I feel it start to be a jealousy thing. Check me, I want nobody come for me. But like with the road march, they had, Bungie had Carry It, right? And so, Party won for road march. And everybody's like, oh, they're cheating. And I'm like, honestly, Marshall marketing and all these things, even if you hated the song, when you started playing it, right, he does the work. Someone tell me, oh, you should listen to Carry It. And Carry It is good. Bungie, okay, you and your wife, I love your music. I want to wake up from it. Are we?
No, but I also think like can win. And I think at the root of it, like you were saying, it's just this predetermined notion that you can only win as much as I'm comfortable with you winning. And it's like you're bright on face, who made you the cap of winning? And who told you that you can dictate how much somebody can win? That's too bright.
And people like, give the young people a chance. And I'm like, it have nothing to give with anybody a chance. To me, I told them, like, last year he win the Mashka, whatever they call the title, right? And I was like, because Marshall was in it, people from America was flying down to come to the competition. Barely, and that's more like old time soca with the thing. And a lot of times, because we kind of so stepping away from it, people wasn't even going. But when Marshall entered,
people everybody,
I ain't gonna lie, I ain't always watching. Oh God, you know, so I'm like, the culture. And
but you have to. I don't know. For me, I'm very intentional about muting those type of noise. Like, because some people, and I just think in general, not just Caribbean culture, but I think in communities across the space, people are just more comfortable being negative with things that they don't understand. Do you understand what I mean? Because saying things like, he needs to give space for the young people. I'm sorry, who said there was limited space?
Right.
Who said there was limited space?
Even with that, he bringing the young people. He's showing the young people.
It's never going to be enough for anyone based on the person's own dream and desire for themselves.
Ooh,
and that's
strapping. Girl, I not nuggets, I a brick, concrete, the red bricks.
But seriously, and I just think we always understand that if you are doing anything for the pursuit of the masses to always be cheering on you, you're never going to reach where God wants you to reach, because people will always keep you where they feel you're comfortable. All right, no, you get 2 Grammy, enough. Nobody go back. Nobody go back. Yeah. But look at Beyonce with her multiple Grammys, and there's still people telling Beyonce, all right, no, you have Pitney, go sit down. But how dare you?
Right.
How you not in the studio with her singing, you not up there shaking and shiny. But that's the same thing people can say about Beanie and them. You know, so them just get their visa and them back out in the street.
I don't know why they've been, okay, so I love my Beanie Man, right? And I used to do the 3 Bs, Beanie, Bounty, and Buju. I love you. Look, I know you have 17 kids. If you want to make the 18, I believe in even numbers. I'm just saying, right? But to me, I love them. They always have something to say about Beanie. Look, I don't know all the stuff behind or whatever.
They say, she's an artist. All of that extra.
So, but I'm like, whatever. But I ain't gonna lie. When Bounty, my man just get him visa. Thank you, Khalid. Right? Because I was like, Beanie wasn't here for 13 years. I think Bounty wasn't here for 15. I didn't even realize how much time has passed. Yes. But I'm like, they're here now. Well, leave my man alone. I was there when my man come out 2018, I believe. Girl, I was with girl. Oh God, I push you. Till I'm late to rest. Yes, I lie on my back to rest. But anyways, here I'm talking shit.
I love it so much.
But no, I love, like, when Buju came, girl. I couldn't even go to the concert. I ended up going to the one in DC, got on a train, my 4.5 hours, get to my concert, come back on my train, because that's what I do for you, Buju.
Dedication. Mine, the locks, man, just before you bite and take off a lock stick. But yeah, bite off my Buju.
But I don't know why the people can't just come together and just be happy.
But you have to be willing to mute that noise. To me, that's just noise. Like, you know,
but sometimes the noise helps, you know.
The noise don't help. I don't feel like it ever helps.
Sometimes it helps. Because okay, Beanie, you should not talk about what did he say? Dogs don't eat doubles. We were still kind of mad at that, but we accept your apology. But sometimes it does help, because it's always it. If you know,
doubles good, you know, it depends on who.
Right, but he say he don't eat none, because dog don't eat doubles. But I ain't gonna lie, I can't remember the last time I see a dog eat a doubles. But that's not the point. I eat doubles. So, but my thing is, Beanie, man or whatever, like his concert is that people's like, oh, don't go. He said dog don't eat doubles, and then he didn't try to bring up people and whatever. I don't know. This whatever happened in the past, even if whatever he say is true, let him man have a moment and let him man shine or whatever. At the end of the day, he have hits. He's an entertainer. He come to entertain. May 24th as UBS Arena is Vinny man. Okay, just saying. I just wait
to know that she just out here plugging for free.
Mine is all bounty.
But that's what I'm saying. But I agree in a sense where not just let him do his thing. I think for other artists in other genres, we have no problem seeing past their personal perceptions of how much woman them have, how much pitney them have a road and not take care of. We have no problem separating the human being from the artist for other genres. But when it comes to our genres, hey, I hear he a woman over here, and da-da-da-da-da. Like we ready to crucify our own people. And I just feel like, again, noise.
And we only have a few.
Listen, we have literally two hand green at this point, but I just feel like it also perpetuates that crab in a barrel mentality where I'm just like, move up. Like if it's a good song, me I run it past Spotify, me I play it, I go to the concert, I go dance, I go and good. I'm in a business. And again, if you're out there if you're out there with your 100 penny, you know, take care of kids, them and all them stuff, like again, me not like that. I don't support that. But come play a little song and do your little dance.
That's something to talk about. Why a Jamaican men are just known for just having a bunch of pictures?
I don't know because
of all Jamaican men.
But first of all, why?
I have my
said was strong Jamaican.
Listen,
like, well,
I just want to be very clear that I am not the representation of all Jamaican men. But what I can say about my Jamaican man, I two penny alone him have and I with him good wife. Yeah, them players there.
Oh,
Listen,
him
him not even need to team a very smart, beautiful man. I don't know if soon team Usher. But yes.
She had to make sure she ran get paid. Bills get paid, so she had to say because people will see this. So I got you. Wink.
Listen, that's my boo. That's my boo thing. But I also first of all, hold on, me just realize say y'all going like that.
Man alone, they out there going crazy.
What?
Trinidad man have a family in Trinidad. They have a family in Queens. They have a family in Brooklyn. They have a family.
Trinidad men are known, even if they like to horn. Another way for cheating. They do take dogs. Most of them is known to take care of their family. Okay, I don't know how it goes for Jamaican, but again, just like everything.
What is take care of? If y'all bring me 1 pound of rice and 2 chicken
and the child okay, you see what I'm
that's taking care. They bring on school shoes and school uniform and a pound of rice. Oh, never going good.
They're eating. You see how you're not focused. Right? You're not focused. Right? And my thing, at the end of the day, a lot of times women know, especially back in the day, women know he with the woman up the road. I mean, it's still choices we are making.
But that's back in the days.
Girl, it's still so, okay? On social media, I've seen it. Damien with this one down the road. I can't believe you're sleeping with she. And then you still take back the man anyway. So what's the problem?
But I always say what's good for the goose is good for the gander. If it works for you, that's why
I man can't take horn.
But
man could give horn, but they can't take horn, okay? That means the one for Trinidad, they like to drive
Caribbean horn means cheating.
But they can't, man period can't take horn. Cheating.
Yes. No, but I also think that's funny because I always say, to me, when it comes to relationship dynamics, nobody want everybody. Nobody want everybody. So you should focus on what you want. And I feel some people truly, because I know some women like this and I know some men like this, although it feels and sounds good to be in a monogamous relationship, they don't necessarily want that. They want independence and they want a companion. That's all. That's what they want. And they don't want extra ties and all of these things. So I just feel like, I think in the Caribbean culture, we've kind of normalized some of those bad behavior.
If it normalizes, like, no. Like, even with my dad. My dad, hey, daddy, how you doing? My dad would be like, hey, you know, when your mother had you, and I guess somebody else pregnant around the same time, normal conversation. Normal.
Like, that's good.
Right.
Like let's talk about your mother and Miss Betsy a breed one time.
Like even my aunt and thing, my aunt is like, yeah, he used to go by so and so up the road and they call she auntie. And normal, like it's no big deal.
But that's not good. That is not good.
And my father proud. Like, yeah, I had 2-3 women when I was with your mother. And I'm like, oh, okay.
And then when they pelt him with rocks on, like, what are you saying, sir? Like, why are we not?
But what I mean, like the hypocrisy of it all, right? Because if anyhow, your mother would have been like, all right, soon as I drop this pitney, and me and Joe Brian, as them call him, down the street, and like all of these, they would have done that. It's just like, why are we perpetuating this stressful way of living? Because honestly, I feel like, yes, there are components of people that have like fun with it, right? Me wouldn't know because me never lived them life there. But I know, listen, me too cute. Watch ya. All right. Me never lived them life there, but I have a lot of friends.
Yes.
That
friend of a friend of a friend. Okay.
No, I'm a good friend. I can't call them right now. I'm a good friend them that live these various ways of lifestyles, and I'm just like, if you like it, I love it, and if it works for you and it brings you peace and happiness in your life, then good. But some people just, especially in the Caribbean culture, have enough woman and woman their party, and I just can't, because they feel like this is what I need to do to be chose.
But them in the same damn one when they start to get old and they start to have diabetes, when we say sugar or whatever, all of us, you know, I always say there's only two ailments: the sugar and they have worms and gas, right? When one of those goes, it could be cancer, but it's one of
sugar,
worms or gas, right? Everything.
What about pressure? Well, hyper pressure.
Yes, that later on, but the three things. Is that, but after a while, when all those things, and they have to cut off a toe and all kind of thing, all of a sudden they're looking for the woman because they want to be in a relationship, because all of a sudden they need stability. When you're old, your hair fall off, your belly big, you know what I'm saying, you're smelling a little funny. I don't understand that. That is not right.
But to be fair, it's the culture and the traditions that we were handed. Like, this is what has been normalized.
The culture that, to me, sometimes.
Okay, so what do we have to do then? So how are we going to change this? What are you going to do?
Boundaries. What me I gonna do? Me already do it in my life. You know, me not go for them sitting there. In my life, me stand by boundaries. And right is right, and wrong is wrong. I'm in a business. Who you is or what title you have in my life. Right is right, and wrong is wrong.
Something I do want to mention, why it is with Jamaican men, right? Like, they think when I walk by and they say, "Girl, your pum pum fat."
Oh my God.
Am I supposed to be like, "Oh my God, me? My pum pum? Oh my God, it is fat. You want my number? 718."
It's like, just, I always think it's so cruddy and
it's you. Who bring you up?
But
I will never forget.
But that is totally normalized.
It's not normalized. People normalize it. It's not normalized. And then, like them say, monkey know which tree for climb. Because I remember when I was very young in Brooklyn,
and
church. Listen, always.
Okay.
But listen, I was Church Avenue. It was Church on Flatbush. Listen. When I tell it, in the same time, like, right, I'm walking and literally walking back to my car, get in the car, waiting for my boo. Hey boo. Wait, still, I'm a boo then, I'm a boo now. Anyway, and I was hot. And anyway, I'm in the car and it's hot. So I said, let me just pull down the thing, wave her. Me put up my foot. Girl, look on them ties there. Me can't just grab you up. And the way I was so disgusted. But when I tell you, you turn around like, say, you could have just shove off a man's face. I turned around like, I will raise you look dirty. And when I said I'd cuss him till I know his mother feel it. I said, you look dirty cranny, your crotch is probably the water around there. No mind how you talk to me.
That poor man.
Yes.
The old man was going
but and that was my intent. Because don't you dare open up your mouth to no woman you don't know speaking to like that.
They do that all the time. And
who raised you? You know,
somebody must respond, me? So, because I'm like, there's no way that is constant, and I've gotten it a lot. I mean, obviously, but
me.
But somebody had to say, like, okay, so if they keep getting away with it, someone's okay with it.
It's not people. I wouldn't say they keep getting away with it, right?
I just think, again, I always feel like, because to be fair, right, not just in Caribbean community, I've seen this in the corporate space where people have often gotten away with bad behavior because they never came across the right person at the right time to tell them, go on and what to do. And I think, especially in Jamaican culture, like that behavior, I have seen it both on the island and in New York, and it's been tapered based on their environment. Because again, monkey know which tree for climb. People will do that based on the perception that they think they're gonna get, and if they think they're gonna get a okay, and because ultimately when they approach women like that, they're trying to show some sense of superiority and aggression. So they want to see if you that type of person that like that. And it's like,
I ain't gonna lie though, them Jamaican men, they do have that rough you just, but compared to all the other islands, Trinidad man, sometimes I got a little worried. Yeah, a little softy, and sometimes they whining a little too good. I say, I know what's going on there. But them Jamaican man, oh my God, they walk with the you just want to, oh God, that's a tree I want to climb. And like a lot of them, they know the maga and the sky. Look, so I like my skinny man, but
not maga. That's what maga means for those that
okay, yes.
The maga.
But the thin and tall and long till it bend. What they say? Maga the man, I say big the wood. Maga man has some big piece of wood. Yeah, I can attest to that.
I love it. No, but for real, but while that is true that Jamaican men have a sense, to me, and the Jamaican men me know, the ones me love and the ones that me family, there's a huge sense of pride and respect around manhood, right? It's not just the sense of, I always feel like black men's masculinity is weaponized when convenient and sexualized when desired.
Okay, what's with the
you're
auditioning or something? Because I'm like, okay.
No, because I feel like Jamaican men stand tall in that intersection,
yes,
right?
Definitely.
They stand tall in that intersection where, as you did, Marcus Garvey, like a lot of Jamaican men are known for their intellect and their determination and being a leader. But then they're also known for, come take off your shirt and open up the smoke that for me now. Like, you know what I mean?
Dexter that.
Hey, bring it to the owner.
Be nowhere, no under it.
But that's where I mean, where you can show up, you can be multi-layered, but people don't allow you to be multi-layered because they want you to be the version of that's they're most comfortable for them.
You read a book.
Listen, I read a book every now and then, I'm bright. So if bright could I ever bright again, I'd be that. But you know what I mean? So that's why I said, like, I love how much globally Jamaican men are loved, right? And how much our culture is loved. Right. But I always feel like I'm championing something deeper than the shallow part of it, right? With some depth. I feel like everybody's like, oh, I can't wait to go to Jamaica and be on the beach and eat some box food and have a coconut. But it's like, thank you so much. Also, make sure you go down at go downtown and see the Marcus Garvey Stanfield. Go check out Bob Marley. Learn about,
in July. But I'm big on going to museums and stuff like that. And the other thing too is, like, when you go to these islands, they scare you. They're like, don't leave with the hotel or whatever, because they make it so as soon as they walk out, they want to shut you dead. Snatch your bag. But you don't get the authentic,
you have to learn about Nanny and the Maroons and all that they did to, like, secure the culture of Jamaica. Like, there's so much depth in the island beyond the love and I call it the fancy gaze, right, of all the fancy things. So it's just like, but people would say that here in New York too, no?
Sure.
They're like, oh, if you come to New York, you go to a Broadway show, stay at the hotel right next to the Broadway show, and hurry up and run out the hotel and run anything and run. And the place stink and it's nasty and it's dirty. Sometimes when I go other places, like I went to Savannah, Georgia, like sometimes when people talk about New York, it sounds like, I'm like, maybe I don't live there. It's really...
Where is that?
Yeah, it sounds pretty scary.
Exactly.
Like, I've had people like, are you safe in the trains? Like, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah. I see them, but they make you wonder, like, oh God, should I be worried?
Should I be safe? Am I?
Yeah.
You just come off the train. Am I safe?
And that's why people say, like, New Yorkers are the gangster and they're tough. And I mean, I get it. But
I agree with that, though. Try me if you can.
It's her. I know she live in Long Island. I know what she's talking about.
Long Island now because I'm a bougie white lady now. All right, like I have evolved to be a bougie white lady now. But no, true. But I also feel like, again, if we allow that level of like perception to be the only version that we know, then Trinidad is just doubles and soca.
Right. And I just want to add, Trinidad and Tobago, we have the last musical instrument ever made in the 20th century. Yes, I just want to make sure I just put that out there.
What instrument is that?
The steel pan. Steel drum. Thank you. We invented it, and it's the last instrument made in the 20th century. I just like to throw that out there. That's a big deal.
Thank you for that random fact for no one
What?
who's
Because,
playing the steel
what?
band.
Oh!
I'm just joking.
I have good friends who was in the band, and they will cuss me if they hear me. But I just feel like she just said it like we created the piano.
Because it feel like you. I think you Jamaicans have so much more. So I'm like, we have stuff too. Like you were talking about, you could go explore. So I just want to make sure we have things too. Okay.
Yeah,
so
it's all right to be
Jamaicans
the second or third, depending on where Barbados is that day. You know, it's okay to be the second or third favorite island.
If it wasn't for Rihanna, people still wouldn't know what Barbados is. So
listen,
thank you.
Big up
Thank you,
Riri. Big up Riri.
I just want to show you we have Nicki Minaj, please, and we have half of Cardi B. Thank you.
All right, if you want to claim, if I not you want to do it, then I just want to say that we have people that is like from the island and was on the island and breed in the island, as them called.
Nicki Minaj was born, okay, and raised part of her very short life.
I live some don't know all our life shot, but she's still alive and well. Hi, Nikki.
Because people come here and I don't mind your mother and your parents being Caribbean and you claim it. That's fine. Mm-hmm. But I do like, in my mind, I like.
We call those tier 2 Caribbean.
Yeah. Because I'm like, I like to know, even if you was born and you was there for 1 year, you're in there. Born, right?
You
so
might get tier 3.
Yeah. So Nicki Minaj came when she was 5. So she a real Trini, okay?
Yeah.
And she do big up and do all the stuff.
You know what I also think is interesting? That Trinis, you see your Nickies and all of that. What about Allison? What about Allison? What about, isn't Heather Hadley?
Heather Hadley.
Oh, look, she that people remember. That's where the good people have it. You see,
well, you know what it is? It's who stays relevant enough. Let's be real.
Don't write yourself. Heather is on a good Netflix show right now.
Right, but I didn't know who she was. Yeah,
no, I'll always
good. I hope this is the ending and it's just right now. Don't know what that was. but at least I know and I'm aware of who these people are. Now, if and I'm like, who? Then that's a problem. But I'm very, cultured, and I always see why does that be all of a sudden speak?
I don't.
Like, and I'm very aware.
Yeah,
of what's going on.
We're trying to clear up the facts.
Okay,
very appropriately.
Yeah, so I do holler at my people. Oh, what's the Trinidad Killer making good food in Brooklyn? I think he opened his store or whatever. Eskimo Season. Okay,
is that a seasoning company?
No, Eskimo Season is the song that he wrote for Carnival, and Nicki Minaj is on the start of the song, and it was a big deal because they have that whole controversial "Don't be on the rhythm, who you think you are." But no matter what, he called up Nicki, and Nicki played like a bar or whatever, and it became the next song.
This is so interesting. I'm not even gonna lie. Soca music is like a soap opera. Every time.
But these days.
Listen, these days, couple years, whatever, tomato. I just feel like every time I talk to my friends and family about what's going on with soca music and this, I have my handful of favorite songs. The 2 hands, right? Yeah, and they always like, whoa, hear this one dead part about woman, and it's just like.
They actually say like soca music is one of the genres that we don't have all the fighting. But these days, in the last few years, it seems like I don't know if we're trying to fit in. Like we had a bungee door like Marshall, and then when Nicki did the song for Eskimo Season with Trinidad Killer, all of a sudden Marshall was like, oh, Nicki doing this. And I'm like, we're not even that guy. Plus, think about it. What's that comedian, Major Hype, right?
Yeah.
He and all said it when he does his comedy. When Jamaicans get angry and cuss out people, it's scary. You want to run and hide. When we Trinidad start to fight, it just doesn't have that
It doesn't.
Girl, you're so you stupid, eh? Yeah. Come here, I slap.
I feel like I just want to pull out Papa and go on. Say more.
Right, more. But when Jamaicans cuss you, they dig deep. Okay? And the stuff
we trying to destroy your soul.
Right. So I'm like, why are we trying to be fighting when we don't our accent is not a fighting accent.
You know what this remind me of? One of my best friends who's a twin, and she's Trinidadian. One day she was cussing her man. This was when we was very young, right? But I will never forget it in my life because she felt like she was
doing good.
And she was like, you have on panties. You wear panties. And I tell you, I bust.
It's hilarious. Like you can't even keep it straight.
Yes. And she well mad.
Yeah, she's like, I'll give him good, eh? Yeah, your panty wearing your panty man, yeah. It's just no.
And
You're
when
like,
I
no.
tell you, I was like, girl, no. I was like, yeah, and I think he was American, and he was just like, all
You're
right,
like,
she's
who's that?
mad.
What?
I think she mad, but I thought it was so funny because she was, y'all know when y'all mad at a walk, I don't know. Chona, I don't know. I don't time for this. I don't have time for this. I don't have time for this. And I'm just like,
Yeah, it just doesn't give
it
that.
doesn't give that at
Yeah,
all. I just be
'cause-
like, girl, no.
Just
Just wrap it up. No. Like it's not. But I love the variations of like how our cultures not just collide.
Complement each other,
Yes.
right? Because I always say, listen, when me want a curry chicken, I wrote to me, I go to Trinidad player.
Thank you. Because
Yes.
people be getting confused something with the Guyanese. Yes, and Guyana, we do accept you as an island. Yes, I know the history. You accept it, even though technically you're not surrounded by water. But that has nothing to do with we love we Guyanese people. Or they still owe us a little money, but that's not a problem. Come over. But
But I also say, like, what is the definition of Caribbean, right? Because technically Haiti is Caribbean.
okay, you sound like you was unsure.
No, but
yes.
I know, but with the same definition, we can say that about Guyana.
Right, but people always fight over that. First of all, if you're thinking island, Western, you're thinking
West
but
Indian.
number one thing, if you read up what an island surrounded by water, Haiti and the
Dominican
right,
Republic.
it's still surrounded by water, so it's an island. But people fight because Guyana is technically South America, so how is that an island? But when you go back in the history, they say why, blah blah blah. But I love my Guyanese people,
Yep.
so we all good. What they're the only English speaking. Is that the only English speaking in South America? I think.
I have no
Because
idea.
all the rest is they speak Spanish,
Spanish.
or right or other
So they just be
languages.
out there lost.
Yeah, so I guess that's why we adopted them, and they people always say we sung Guyanese and Trinidad song alike, and I think they do. But you know how people like to fight. No, I'm like, no, we really sung alike. It's
Yes,
not-
we do. Before we
And
leave,
it's chicken
oh
curry,
my-
curry chicken, right?
it's always curry chicken. Just so we're clear,
Yes,
it's
well,
always
I'm clear
curry
too.
chicken.
I ain't confused.
Exactly, like it's always curry chicken. But before we leave, I want to talk about the worst accents, right?
Okay.
Because this is an ongoing debate that I think is funny about which Caribbean island has. Now, I don't want to say the worst, the most difficult accent.
People say Bajans.
Oh gosh, it
But
is.
you know what's funny? I love a Bajan accent. I have no idea what they're saying. Cheese on bread. Don't even know what is that really cheese on bread, or they actually have a sentence or something. But me gonna go. I don't know what, but that shit is so pretty. When I went Barbados, I was excited just being there. I wanted to hear the people talk.
Yes.
I don't know what they're saying, but I love it. A Bajan man any day.
Listen, so you want Buju, you want Bajan, you want Jamaican. What you want? You never do. You know.
You say we Caribbean, we're one.
Exactly.
Right?
Ultimately, one people.
Yeah, right.
Hey. This was so great, Miss
I know because
Francis.
I was here. Yes.
All right.
blessed
It
you
was
with my
all right.
presence.
It was all right. This is wonderful, and I love for you to be back because I think this conversation was great, and we'll continue on your show.
But I don't understand why she keep inviting. She says,
Yes,
you know. But
I
all
just
right.
so we clear.
Yes.
I said what I said. All right. But thank you for defining as we continue to explore what the definition of Caribbean is. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for
This
being
was
here.
awesome. Thank you so much. Sanika.
Sanika, we have to send me here with so much aggression. Me now come in, come clean floor with red paint and coconut. What is happening here?
Cookie and boom.
Not the junior island them to the main island them, which
Yes.
is the number one island. Jamaica, pick up yourself. Yeah.
I'll give you that. Yeah. It's the truth.
There's no argument. It's a factual thing.
all
Okay.
right.
All right.
Stop hitting
Thank
me
you
under
for
the
listening
table.
to
Thank
this.
you.
Thank you for listening to this episode of How Do You Divine Caribbean?